Welcome back to another SAP Code Talk. Today I'm here with Mark Bernard from Mark Bernard's Tools. Now, Mark, would you care to tell us a little bit about yourself in less than 1 minute for those who are not familiar with you and your work?
Yes, thank you very much for having me. Over 2 decades, I advised hundreds of companies from Apple to Yodobashi as chief architect for data warehousing at SAP. And then in 2019, I canceled my career, so to say. I quit my high-paying job and decided to follow my passion, which is building awesome software. Now I run a one-person business on a mission to bring open source to the world of ABAP, teaching developers how to speed up, simplify, and eventually monetize their work. And on the side, I built Mark Bernard Tools.
Nice, nice. So I was looking at the timer on my phone and you just hit it. So, Mark, open source. Now, what motivated open source ABAP Git?
Yeah, when I started my company, I was looking for a way to manage all my developments, and since it's open source, I needed a way to share it with everyone, and that's how I came across ABAP Git and all the tools that exist around it, and I use it every day for coding and syncing all my developments from our ABAP systems to GitHub, where I have all my repositories. And it's a great tool. And without it, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing.
That's true. That's true. Now, how are you using ABAP Git within your company, markbernhardstools.com?
Yeah, I have several repositories. So for each of the tools that I develop, I have a separate repository. And those are synced via ABAP Git to an ABAP system. It's one of the ABAP developer editions. I run them in the cloud on Microsoft Azure, so I can access them wherever I am in the world, whether that's in Canada or in France or in Germany, where I'm residing during some days during the year. And I can push all my developments to the repositories, pull them back, make changes. Everything is tracked in GitHub, and it's a perfect way of sharing open source software.
Absolutely. Now, what's the vision for ABAP Git and open source? And what makes open source more popular for SAP customers and partners these days?
Yeah, that's a really good question. ABAP Git has been around for almost 10 years now. So it's very stable and can be used by literally anyone in the SAP ecosystem, whereas an ABAP system. So it's not just for freelance developers, it's definitely also for customers and partners. You can use it for your open source projects, and that's obviously something that the community is doing. But customers might also use it company internally. You can use GitHub Enterprise, your own Git server, to share code across your organizations. And there are certainly some very big SAP customers who I know have lots and lots of developments going on and systems where they want to share code. So this is also an option for them to do this very seamlessly without having to link systems with transports or transport routes. You can bring code very quickly from one place to the other and keep everything in sync.
Now, I guess for me, my question is, now someone who is not familiar with ABAP Git, how can you be able to describe to them how it is? And for the when they get started, how can you describe to them what it is in a way where they like someone who never touched it or even touched an ABAP system before? How can you
Yes.
describe what's
So
what's
it's
magic?
yes. So ABAP Git is a client or a Git client. So it can connect to pretty much any Git server where you have your code or other objects. Um, and it's available as one really long ABAP program. We built it all into one little program. And you can upload that into your ABAP system. We support everything from really old releases, 7.0.2 onwards, to the most recent ABAP stack. And you activate the program, and then you just have to run it and connect it to any of your repositories on your Git servers. It also works offline, so if you don't have an online connection of your SAP systems, you can just upload the repository data as a zip file to your system, and then you work within this program to pull changes into your system, switch branches, stage their changes back, and commit them back to the repositories. All the usual things that you do with a Git environment.
Yes, that is true. Now, I guess my personal question for you is, when Mark isn't building Mark Bernard's tools and doing all of those fun things, I guess who are you outside of that? Like, what is something that you're tackling this year, or something that is of interest that people might have not known?
Yeah. So outside of business, I enjoy family life with my wife, and we have a 9-year-old daughter. And every day it's fun to see what she's up to. She's a gymnast and really great dancer. Last year she was part of the Nutcracker in the National Ballet of Canada. So it's lots of fun family life. We love to travel, and that's my life outside of work.
Nice. Well, thank you so much, Mark, for joining us on our SAP Code Talk. We can't wait to see all that you have coming up. And if you guys have any questions, please visit Mark Bernard's tools, and I'll add his info in the description below as well.
Yeah. See you at the ABAP conference this year.
Yes.